We are continuing with ICSE Board Physics paper of class 10 2023. I have already uploaded MCQ question 1 of 15 marks. You will see the link somewhere here. You will see the link. Let us continue with question 2. Now remember, this comes in the compulsory section and this question 2 is of 15 marks. Let us look at the A part of question 1. When does the nucleus of an atom become radioactive? The condition is when n upon p is greater than 1, which means the number of neutrons becomes more than the number of protons. Now you have to write this in words. Let us come to B part. Name the single pulley in which the displacement of load and effort is not the same. Now we know that the single pulley can be this way. If this is the load and this is the effort, in this case the displacement of load and effort will be equal. But the other single pulley is like so, which is single movable pulley. Now for this, when we have the load attached to it like so, the displacement of the load and displacement of effort is not the same. Mechanical advantage ideally is 2 and velocity ratio also is 2. So basically we have VR equal to displacement of effort upon displacement of load. So displacement of effort will be twice the displacement of load. So obviously the two displacement will not be the same. So which is the single fixed pulley which is going to have this condition? It will be single movable pulley. State one advantage of this pulley. Now here the advantage will be that the mechanical advantage is going to be equal to 2 ideally, which means it is a force multiplier. Now when you write that it is a force multiplier, you could also say that it lifts or it overcomes larger load by applying smaller effort. What is the position of center of gravity of a triangular lamina? Now if you have a triangular lamina, if you take the medians, the intersection of all three medians is the center of gravity. So you will say it is the intersection of three medians of the triangle. That is, it is the centroid. When the triangular lamina is suspended freely from any one vertex, what is the moment of force produced by its own weight in its rest position? When we take this triangular lamina and when you suspend it, the vertically downwards line like this, if you suspend a bob, it will pass through the center of gravity. Because the weight acts vertically downwards from the center of gravity, so you see that the pivoted point is over here. So if you look at the line of action of force, it is passing through this, which means the perpendicular distance is equal to 0. So the moment of force, which is F into D, is going to be equal to whatever its weight, that is the force, multiplied by 0. And so the moment of force, this force, is going to be equal to 0 Newton meter. Now let us come to the third one. For the third one, the diagram shows the wheel O pivoted at point A. Three forces F1, F2, F3 act at the point B on the wheel. So for this force F1, you look at the line of action of force and its perpendicular distance from the pivot. It is pivoted at point A, so the perpendicular distance of F1 will be this much. So this is going to be the perpendicular distance for F1. So this will be your D1. Let us look at F2. F2, the line of action of force is going to be like so. So what is the perpendicular distance from A? It is this much. We'll call this as D2. And for F3, let us take the line of action of force like so. So the perpendicular distance of the line of action of force, this will be D3. So we see this is D1, this is D2, this is D3. They are asking which force will produce maximum moment about A. Maximum moment will be dependent upon the maximum perpendicular distance. Now all of them are equal forces, so more the distance, more will be the moment. So which force it will be? F1. Give reason. So you will say since F1 has the maximum perpendicular distance of the line of action of force from the axis of rotation. Which is the axis of rotation? It is A. You could draw this diagram, something similar to this, a small diagram, and show that my D1 is going to be greater than D2, greater than D3. If you mention like this, that will be fine. Fourths apart, what would be the angle between the direction of force and the direction of displacement if the work is supposed to be negative? Work is negative when theta is 180 degrees, and this theta is the angle between the direction of force and the direction of displacement. Then you can say that work is equal to Fs cos theta, which is equal to F into S into cos 180 degrees, which is equal to Fs into minus 1, which is minus Fs, and that is how we'll get negative work. Name the physical quantity obtained by the formula U upon H, where U is the potential energy and H is the height. Now potential energy, which is U, is equal to mgh. But they want U upon H, so I will divide both like so. So what do I get? This is equal to mg. Now what do we understand by mg? Mg is the force of gravity experienced by the body. So force of gravity or its weight. Remember the weight, the definition says that is the force of gravity. So which is the physical quantity? It is the force of gravity, and you can also put a slash and say that that's the weight of the body. Calculate the power spent by a crane by lifting the load of mass 2000 kg at velocity 1.5 meter per second. Now, load of mass 2000 kg means our load is 2000 kgf. But since we want the power, we need to find the work. Work means I am going to require force. So the load is going to be not 2000 kgf but 2000 into g, that is 10, which is going to give us 20,000 Newton. Okay, now the power spent is going to be F into V. The load is the force overcome, remember that. So force becomes how much? 20,000 Newton multiplied by 1.5 meter per second. Now 1.5 meter per second, I'm going to make it as 2000 multiplied by 15, and that will give me 15 to 30, so 30,000 watts. Sixth one, a foot ruler is held at the edge of the table. It is pressed at its free end and then it is released, it vibrates. So you are going to have a tabletop like this, and we are going to place one ruler here. This ruler is held here, it is held at one end, and the free end is pressed downwards. So it's going to go like so. So it's going to vibrate, right? What are the vibrations? They are going to be the damped vibrations. Why damped vibrations? Damped vibrations is because their amplitude is going to go on decreasing because of the resistance offered by the surrounding medium, correct? So, how do we increase the frequency of these vibrations? Frequency of vibration is inversely proportional to the length. So, this length is the length of the vibrating body. So, if I want to increase the frequency, I should decrease the length. So, what I will do, I'm going to move this ruler a little like so, behind like this, so that the vibrating length is going to be less. So we will say by decreasing the distance of the free end of the ruler from the table. And then you can just say, since frequency is inversely proportional to the length. A geyser is rated 240 watts and 220 volts. Explain the meaning of this statement. What does this statement mean? That the geyser consumes 240 watts of electric power, write into bracket, that is 240 joules in 1 second when connected to a source of 220 volts means. That finishes our question 2. Now we come to question number 3. Is it possible for a concave lens to form an image of size 2 times that of the object? Write yes or no. Now obviously our answer will be no, because concave lens always gives you virtual and diminished image. Correct? So how can it be 2 times greater? Let us come to B. What will happen to the focal length of the lens if part of the lens is covered with an opaque paper? If part of the lens is covered with opaque paper, then the intensity of the image will be less. But will the curvature change? It will not change. So focal length, what you will say, remains the same. Let us come to the second one. Which electrical component protects the electric circuit in case of excess current, and which can also be used as a switch? Now, the one that protects the appliance from the excess electric current is the fuse. But when it is also behaving like a switch, then it is MCB. And you could write the full form of it, miniature circuit breaker. Name the wire to which this electrical component is connected in an electric circuit. It will be the live wire. Remember, the fuse or the switch is always connected to the live wire before the electrical component. Third one. A copper conductor is placed over 2 stretched copper wires whose ends are connected to a DC supply as shown in the diagram. So the DC supply is passing the current like so, and these two are open ends, but at the same time, can you see this is a thick copper conductor? So the current will pass this way, and then it will go this way and complete the circuit. What should be the magnetic poles at the points A and B lying on either side of the conductor to experience the force in the upward direction? Now this conductor is going to go upward like so. So what should be the direction here at A and B? Now the current is flowing through this conductor this way, coming towards you. So now you know your Fleming's rule. Your conductor is towards you and the motion, so the current is here and the motion is upward. So you will see that mutually perpendicular lines this way. If you look at your Fleming's left hand rule, you can hold the fingers in this direction, let the center finger point towards you and let the thumb go upwards. Then you see your index finger is pointing from left to right. Try that once again. Hold your left hand with 3 mutually perpendicular fingers. Your center finger shows the current, so center finger is towards you. We want the motion upwards, so your thumb is going to be upward. Now these two we already know. Now Fleming's left hand rule, the index finger will be like so. So this is going to be the field, magnetic field. It's going to be north here and south here. So now you apply the same direction here, and this will be north here and this will be south here. What should be the magnetic poles at A and B? So how you will write it down? A should be north pole and B should be south pole. Name the law used to find these polarities. What is the law? It is the Fleming's left hand rule. Okay, so this is how we write the answers and this is how we understand. It was not an easy paper. Now we come to the fourth subpart. Thermal capacities of substances A and B are same. So we'll have thermal capacity C dash is equal to M into C. So we will have M into C of A will be equal to M into C of B. Mass of A is more than mass of B. So we'll have mass of A is greater than mass of B. Then which substance will have more specific heat capacity? So for this we are just going to arrange them like so. You see, this is mass of A upon mass of B has come this side and will be equal to C of B means SHC of B upon this goes that side, so C of A. Okay, now they are telling that mass of A is greater than mass of B, which means the numerator is bigger than the denominator. So here also this numerator, that is SHC of B, is going to be greater than the SHC of A. So which substance will have more specific heat capacity? It will be B. Which substance will show greater rise in temperature for the same amount of heat supplied? The one which will show greater rise in temperature is the one which will have less SHC. So it will be A. And the reason will be since A has less specific heat capacity. Therefore, for given heat, it will show greater rise in temperature. How is radioactivity of radioisotope affected if it undergoes a chemical change. Now, chemical change has got nothing to do with nucleus, right? So we will say chemical change does not affect the nucleus. Correct? Radioactivity is a nuclear phenomenon. Therefore, it will not be affected by a chemical change. Now, this finishes our section A. Now, in the next video, I will solve section B. Okay, till then, prepare for your chemistry test. I will upload some last minute preparation for chemistry also. Till then, take care. Bye.